Coming up on today's episode of Airborne-Unlimited, NTSB publishes initial finding on UPS MD-11 accident. NBAA and Modern Skies support protecting FAA from shutdowns. Enstrom gains FAA cert for 480B fuel system. Welcome to Airborne Unlimited. I'm your host, Holland Lee. Let's get into today's stories. NTSB publishes initial findings on UPS MD-11 accident. The NTSB's preliminary report on the UPS Flight 2976 crash has focused on the left engine pylon separation and a subsequent fire that started even before impact. Imagery released by NTSB shows a clear left engine and pylon failure as the aircraft rotated for departure. The report indicates that the left engine and pylon separated from the wing shortly after takeoff, leading to a fire that ignited near the pylon's attachment point. The aircraft never climbed beyond approximately 30 feet above ground level before crashing into multiple buildings, including a petroleum recycling facility where it was largely consumed by fire. The investigation found evidence of fatigue cracking and overstress failure in the left pylon's aft mount lugs and the spherical bearing, contributing to the engine and pylon's detachment. The UPS Airlines MD-11 was bound from Louisville, Kentucky to Hawaii. Impact occurred right after takeoff just south of the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport on Grade Lane. The 3 crew members on board and 11 people on the ground were killed, while an additional 23 people were injured from the crash. The NTSB's preliminary findings highlighted the need for further investigation into the structural failures and recommended continued analysis of the cockpit voice recorder and flight data recorder to develop recommendations for preventing similar accidents in the future. After the break, Universal Flight Concepts acquires 4 Tecnams aircraft.
Martha, it's really been getting dark early lately.
What are we supposed to do with our evenings now that it's getting dark by 4 p.m.?
How about we work on a ground school course?
Well, a really good idea would be for us to review our night flying course.
And folks, it's a great idea for you too, especially since now we are offering 20% off all King Schools courses.
Just use the code word PECAN to get 20% off through December 4th.
Welcome back. Now let's take a trip around the patch for some shorter stories. Universal Flight Concepts acquire 4 Tecnams aircraft. Tecnams Aircraft announced that Universal Flight Concepts has acquired 4 more Tecnams aircraft, including 2 each of the P2008 LSA and P2010 models. This acquisition brings Universal's Tecnams fleet to a total of 32, with plans to add an additional 24 over the next 2 years. The company was founded in the 1980s by Dr. Gordon A. Giroux, now CEO, and now operates a total of 70 aircraft, including Tecnams airplanes, as well as Robinson and Bell helicopters. Emirates orders 65 additional Boeing 777-9 airliners. Boeing announced that Emirates, the world's largest international airline, placed its 3rd order for 777X airplanes to bolster its future expansion plans and meet the growing demand for air travel. With 270 now on order, Emirates is the largest customer for the 777X line with a mix of 777-9 and 777-8 models. Emirates has grown its global network with the Boeing 777 and is a launch customer for the new 777X family, having previously placed 2 orders for a total of 205 aircraft. Allegiant pilots across the U.S. picket as negotiations stall. Allegiant's long-running pilot contract dispute reached a new peak as crews at all 22 of its bases launched coordinated informational pickets. The action follows nearly 3 years of federally mediated negotiations and 5 years of work without a new contract. Teamsters Local 2118 calls the picket a warning shot rather than a work stoppage. As the airline reminded us, quote, Teamsters Local 2118 cannot legally call for a strike, a slowdown, or any kind of self-help action until all of them have been met, end quote. The Railway Labor Act bars any walkout until mediation is exhausted. Successful teaming flight test of F-22 Raptor and MQ-20 Avenger. General Atomics Aeronautical Systems, Lockheed Martin, and L3 Harris collaborated on a successful demonstration of a crewed-uncrewed teaming using an F-22 Raptor fighter jet and a GA ASI MQ-20 Avenger unmanned jet. The two aircraft demonstrated the use of their integrated L3 Harris Banshee advanced tactical data links with its Pantera software-defined radios via Lockheed Martin's open radio architecture, all shared from the F-22 Raptor. The demo flight was performed at the Nevada Test and Training Range. That's it for today's trip around the patch. Let's get back to the rest of the news. NBAA and Modern Skies support protecting FAA from shutdowns. NBAA, along with its fellow 60-plus aviation stakeholders in the Modern Skies Coalition, issued the following statement supporting legislation that would prevent the FAA from being affected by future government shutdowns to ensure the continuation of normal FAA and aviation operations. Quote, as members of the Modern Skies Coalition, we urge Congress to ensure that our nation's aviation system and those who rely upon it are never subjected to another government shutdown. Travelers, shippers, and other users of the system pay nearly $24 billion in taxes and fees every year for aviation operations, including ATC services, safety, and security, and they deserve uninterrupted delivery of those services. Our coalition supports legislation that preserves the safety and operational integrity of the aviation ecosystem by protecting federal aviation workers and infrastructure. This includes ensuring that air traffic controllers, technicians, safety inspectors, and certification personnel, TSA agents, and CBP officers are compensated without interruption during a shutdown by drawing on monies already paid into the system by the users. We strongly support Chairman Moran's bill and the House companion bills introduced by Representatives Cohen and Bean to shield the FAA from funding lapses by allowing the agency to draw from the Airport and Airway Trust Fund during a shutdown. We also strongly support the bill introduced by Chairman Graves and Ranking Member Larson, which would draw on monies paid by aviation users to continue critical FAA functions. After these messages, Enstrom gains FAA cert for 480B fuel system.
I'm currently using the Hartzell Talon, by far the best aerobatic propeller ever come out.
I use the Trailblazer. It adds performance to the Super Decathlon and dependability, and it's rugged.
Hartzell's been an excellent partner for Whip Air, just in terms of your product support as well as keeping an eye on the market and developing new products that meet demand.
It's helping us all have better performing airplanes.
It's such a proud honor to fly behind that propeller.
Meet the first of a new generation of the M-Class family. The M700 Fury. An aircraft worthy of the name, an indomitable force. The M700 Fury transcends traditional limits with more power, blistering performance, a finely appointed interior, and the luxury of what matters most. Time. Experience the Fury. Join the legacy.
The legendary BD4-seat program is building an exciting future for those who want a rugged 4-seat family flyer with a proven history. The SureWings program produces a complete kit and builder assist program that gives you everything you need to be flying a BD4CS in record time. For conventional kit builders, BD Aviation has parts, partial kits, and full kits for the 190-mile-per-hour BD4C that has logged thousands of hours. Visit SureWings.com and BDAviation.com for more detail.
Welcome back. Enstrom gains FAA cert for 480B fuel system. Enstrom Helicopter Corporation announced it has received full FAA certification for the crash-resistant fuel system on its 480B turbine-powered helicopter and will be resuming sales of newly produced 480B models to the global market. The installation of CRFS technology in newly manufactured helicopters had been mandated by the FAA after Congress approved the measure. The system is intended to minimize the risk of post-impact fuel fires during crashes. It includes a new type of fuel bladder material, breakaway fittings that close off fuel lines, and reinforced structural modifications to protect the fuel system from penetration and leaks. Enstrom collaborated with Safran Aerosystems to develop and furnish the fuel bladders for the CRFS. Safran also performed product-level testing in support of Enstrom certification. The FAA certification was received at the same time as that for the European Union Aviation Safety Agency. EASA is putting the finishing touches on its validation materials to confirm full compliance, and once it's received by Enstrom, the company will be able to fully re-enter the European helicopter market. The certification paves the way for further FAA approval of Enstrom's CRFS for its piston-powered 280FX model, also developed together with Safran. And that's our show for today. You can catch episodes of Airborne on YouTube, Roku, or Fire TV. Just search for Aero-News or Airborne. And don't forget to follow us on social media. Thanks for watching.